Hey everybody, my name is Jeremy Lampo and I am from Metairie, Louisiana, right outside of New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm 49 years old, I'll be 50 in October, and I am a high school English teacher. Today is day one of the 30-day Carnivore Challenge. And before I go into details about or why I'm doing this, just a little background. I would say about 2 summers ago, I took a hard look at myself and realized I was on multiple medications. I was taking a pre diabetic medication, I was taking a cholesterol medication, I was taking high blood pressure medication, and I just didn't like it. I didn't feel good, and I didn't think this was sustainable. Meaning, so I'm gonna live the rest of my life taking all these medications. It just didn't make sense to me. I knew that I was overweight, so I knew it had to be something to dealing with weight loss. I had heard kind of like whispers about keto. I had a friend or two do it with moderate success. So really had time to kind of dive into it and read about it and look online and do what you're doing right now is looking on YouTube and hoping for some credibility, right? And so fortunately, I found it with multiple people. Like one of the first people I came across was Dr. Ken Berry. Highly recommend watching his videos. They were short, they were to the point, and they were helpful. And so I also found Maria Emmerich. Hope I'm pronouncing her name right. And then later on down the line, Dr. Berg, and looked into intermittent fasting. And I said I'm going to be dedicated to this during the summer. And over the summer, which was roughly around 9 weeks, I had um, gotten off all of my medications, which I thought was pretty amazing. Felt really good. Um, I had dropped some weight and probably lost about 25 pounds before school started back up, and then was continuing on that journey and doing pretty well until, like everybody else, COVID hit. And I kind of went off the wagon from there. So then I went through that summer, came back to school again, and started back up probably around December. But then started mixing in some intermittent fasting, which generally around 18 hours to 6 hours of my eating window. But I have done other longer fasts. I've done 24-hour fasts. I've done one meal a day. I've also, I think the longest fast I've done is 72 hours, and that's when I really knew or felt that I was fat adapted, because during those longer fasts, it just wasn't that difficult, and I thought that was crazy. I am an extreme carbaholic, no doubt about it. Not so much in the sweet tooth realm. Like I could do without chocolate, but like potato chips, any kind of like pasta or crackers or bread and garlic bread. Like I way off the handle when it came to carbs. So when I tell people like it just doesn't bother me when they're eating a slice of king cake, uh, I'm being honest. Like it just doesn't bother me that much. And so when I went keto, I would just learn to make the foods that I like. So I learned to make keto pizza with the fathead crust. I learned how to make fried chicken with pork panko crumbs, and that was all fantastic. And again, it's done well for me. I'm still off of medication. So this challenge for me is just to see, man, if I felt so good doing these other things, I wonder if I would feel even better just trying to ramp it up a notch. Be straight up honest, I don't count my macros. I'm the person that's been on the diets where I have counted up points and everything like that, and of course counted calories. And that has just never worked for me in the past because I never found it sustainable. And one of the things I enjoyed about keto was that after a while you learn, okay, this has fat in it, this has carbs in it, this is what I can eat, and it's kind of like you move on from there. That's what I really liked about it. Well, carnivore seemed like the next step of like, okay, really easy to follow, right? As Dr. Berg would say, right? Bacon, eggs, butter, and beef. How difficult could that be? And so I guess for the last 3 weeks I've been preparing for this, just making sure that I'm reading, I'm watching lectures, just trying to get as ready as humanly possible. Is it going to be perfect? No. And I am not. I'm not shooting for perfection here. I'm shooting for sustainability. So if I eat something that's got a little seasoning on it, I'm fine with that. So for instance, what did I eat today? So today I ate eggs, and I just made probably about 8 eggs with some ground Italian sausage. And I know, and the Italian sausage did not have breading in it, but I knew it had some fennel seeds in it or some sort of seasoning. Not really worried about that. Again, I'm trying to look at the big picture here from that. I could have added some bacon to it as well. Probably will in the future. I also want to start adding in more organ meat, but this was just a quick meal that I wanted to make a bunch of and just eat it for lunch and then dinner and then move on until tomorrow. And actually forgot my lunch at home, so I just ate the one meal, probably be my last meal of the evening. Wasn't that big of a deal for me because again, I really feel like I've been fat adapted for a while. So the reason why I shared all that with you is to show you like this is a slow process that I've kind of gone to the point that I'm at right now. It wasn't just I'm going to wake up tomorrow and do carnivore from scratch and intermittent fasting. These are all things I've been doing in the past, and I've also, kind of played around with carnivore like during the week and then keto on the weekends as well. But this is the first time that I'm actually going to commit to doing 30 days, and let's see how it makes me feel. Let's see what the measurements look like. Let's see how my blood work looks. I just had blood work done, and yes, my cholesterol, the LDL, was up a little bit, but I'm still kind of on that borderline. But everything else, just like after the 9 weeks that I started 2 summers ago, rock solid. But now I'd like to trim down even more. I just want to see where my natural body weight should wind up for me. So if we ask like why, my biggest why is today. Today is my little girl Kate. There she is. She turns 12 years old today, and my biggest why is I want to make sure that I stick around for Kate as long as possible, and not just stick around, but be an active member, an active father with Kate. She loves doing everything. She keeps us really busy, and I like doing things with her. So I'm going to share with you throughout this process quite a few of my whys. I started with the biggest, which is my daughter. She inspires me, but there are others, and there are other goals that I would like to set throughout. So to throw some more measurements at you, I took my measurements today, and so my waist is at 44 inches. My neck is at 18 1/4 inches. My thighs were 24 1/2 inches. My chest is 43 inches. My arms are 13 inches. My calf muscles are 16 inches. If I'm missing a measurement, please throw me a comment below. Let me know what else I'm missing. I also, just to throw it out there, took my blood glucose just before I did this video, as well as my ketone measurements. I find like the more that I can track, the more kind of keeps me online. That's just me. there are going to be many people out there that tell you you don't need to track, just like I don't track macros. So this is more just kind of like for funsies. Let's see what happens, right? For my ketones, I was at zero point 0.4. I generally don't jump up high in ketones, especially since I've been doing it for a while, unless I go on an extended fast. Like a crazy amount of ketones for me would be like a 1.5, right? And I don't touch that unless, I'm probably at 72-hour fast, right? Generally, I'm between like 7 and 8 on a regular day. And we just got through with Easter, so I'm sure all the ketone or keto goodies that I've eaten, because I really didn't have cheat days. I just ate stuff that more of the keto stuff that I knew that I probably should have. And my blood glucose is 99. So that was a bit higher, so I'm not quite in, I guess, what you would consider ketosis at the moment. Although, depending on who you ask, some people would say that I'm in ketosis. So I'm going to come back on every day and let you know my progress, let you know what I ate, how I'm feeling, whether I'm going to continue to do this or not, or whether, like, after 30 days, I find that this is more sustainable. And hopefully you'll learn a little bit more about me as well as the days go on. So as far as like rules go, the rules that I've made for myself, and the rules are what you have to live with. So they are what they are. So for me, it's also 30 days without no alcohol. I really want to see what the process. I just watched an interview with Maria probably 2 nights ago, where I learned that your first burning off alcohol, like your order of operations, then from your alcohol you're burning carbs, and then after the carbs you're burning protein, then after the protein you're burning the fat that you have ingested, and then you get to your body fat. And that was really eye-opening for me. So I thought, okay, well, we're going to cut out alcohol altogether. I'm going to cut down as much of the carbs as I can till I get down to 0 as humanly possible. And another thing she said on that video that I watched is fat is something that when you're taking in, you can dial it down. So if you're feeling that satiated, which I am, I'm going to try to maybe dial down the fat that I ingest a little bit. And how am I going to know how to weigh that? I'll let you know in the video. So if I'm not making it through at least like 2 meals a day and I'm still feeling hungry, clearly I need to ramp up that fat a little bit. But as it is right now, I have skipped breakfast for a while. Never has bothered me. Another rule is black coffee. I'm not doing bulletproof coffee. I'm not doing, and believe me, for all this time, I have been a dedicated cream in my coffee, and then stevia, and then some other no calorie sweetener, and I've enjoyed that, and I've fasted with that as well. And then I would say within the last 3 weeks, again from this preparation, I've tried to wean myself off and just tried to do black coffee. I never thought I'd be able to do it. That first day was miserable. And if you're ever trying to do it, I would say give it some time. I realized, like, not so bad after you get adjusted to it. And I've found that my taste buds have adjusted ever since I've gone on a keto. Like I said before, didn't even really need, right, those carb cravings weren't happening. I'm a teacher. You know how much bad food is in our faculty lounge? We've got phenomenal parents, right, that bring us snacks and cookies and king cake and pizza and stuff like that. So throughout this journey, I'm not just going to take pictures of the food that I eat to show you. I'm going to take pictures of the stuff that tempted me throughout the day, that I say tempted me, but that I didn't partake in. Because I think that's important as well, because I don't think people understand what it means when you're truly fat adapted, when these things just cease to bother you anymore. And so hopefully I'll kind of give you some advice on that as well. So again, it's nice to meet you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.